Alright, this is a walkthrough of activity 9-8, assigning login scripts to users using group policy. So just to show you here on the XP machine, Moira Cohen, she has C drive, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a drive letter X via login script that should populate when she next logs in. So we're going to log her out of here real quick. And what we're going to do is we need to, I've already created a file here named scripts, but I'll just go ahead and step through it real quick to show you what we're doing. First things we want to do is we want to do view under our file options. We want to unhide extensions of known file types. Why? Because if we create a text document and we hide the extension, the .txt is gone, therefore we cannot turn it into a batch file or change its extension to be BAT. So we want to go ahead and use the netUse command, X:. And what this is telling it to do is map xdrive to instructor.shared. And just to show you, instructor shared is on the DS controller, our directory services server, or the root. So we want to go ahead and say save and just verify netUse X:, instructor shared. And this is going to be part 6 of the walkthrough. We want to now rename it. We want to call it logon.batch. Yes, we're changing it, and it changes it to a different file type, which is a batch file, and that's a type of script file. So you may also have VBS files, which are VB script files. You could potentially do that, but most common login scripts are going to be batch files. And we're going to copy this into a different folder that we're going to access using Active Directory users and computers. Access Properties Marketing, Group Policy, Edit, and under the user configuration we have Windows Settings and Scripts. And that's logon. At this point you are now on part 10, and here's where it says Show Files, that button right there, and we're going to say paste this in. You notice this pastes it into a special folder, the sysvolume. We'll close that, and that's what's going to allow us, when we hit add and browse, it browses directly to that folder we just looked at when we hit the show files. So we're not under our scripts folder that we just created a little while ago, or that I created earlier, but we're under that different one, which is under the Active Directory settings, the store for under sysvolume for this current server in this current domain, which is domain 01. So we'll say OK. Say apply OK. And just to verify, so for our logon is that script. We'll say OK. Coming back here, we're going to go and say exit, clear out of that. Just updating our policy. And in theory, we should wait a minute, and this should then, after it pulls down the update and maps the folder, we should see an X drive. So I'm going to go ahead and force an update. Notice it hadn't appeared. It's on the login script, so hopefully that may be the reason why. I'm going to go ahead and say log off. And going to my computer now that I've updated the policy so it knows to look for it, suddenly I have a shared. And just to show you, I mean, we've mapped it as X. That was our net use X drive. If I come to the instructor server, which is what this is, and just to show you, here's our shared. I'm going to say new and say text file, and I'm going to rename it and say this is on the instructor DS root server. And this is just to show you that when we're in XP and we look, we are in fact looking at the instructor server. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Just to show you that this is an example of what you can do with login scripts. And there are several things you can do. Mainly you're going to use them to map drives, but you can set other parameters. For example, global variables, things of that nature. Or if you have older legacy applications, you may need to map certain drives or establish certain whatever. That can only be done via batch file. And this way you see that it's only specific to this user, because if I log in with a different user, we'll pick one. I haven't. This is going to be for marketing, information technology, Minore. His login name was mminore, so let's try logging in as mminore. And because he's in a different OU, that login script is not going to apply. So we've logged him on. Whatever. Go into my computer and you notice that it doesn't apply to him. It's only going to apply to any of the members of the marketing OU. This concludes our walkthrough of activity 9-8, assigning login scripts to users using group policy.